What's going on, guys? Jepper Entertainment back here with another video. And so over the course of the past few months, we received a lot of DMs about advice for incoming high schoolers, or if you're like a freshman or sophomore. And so I'm a senior and he's a sophomore about to be a junior, and I'm about to be a college freshman. So we have quite a bit of experience. So we decided that in today's video, we're going to give you guys some advice about high school and answer your questions about high school. And before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos if you haven't already. So let's get right into it.
All right, so the first question is, should you take difficult classes? And I definitely think you should. There's so many benefits, like for AP classes and dual credit classes. Some of those will, play into college, and you'll be a lot more prepared for that class in college, or you might not even have to take it because you took it in high school. And with these classes, it'll prepare you for college just because of how difficult they are and the amount of work that you'll have to do. It'll just prepare you for that type of work in college.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but it also depends on what type of student you are. So if you are like a higher achieving student, or you want to achieve higher, you want to be like not even top of the class. If you want to be, if you just want to be a high achieving student, then it's definitely worth taking some difficult classes. And I would especially take like easy weighted classes, but avoid the super hard ones if you want. If you're up for the challenge, then for sure go for it. And if you're just like an average student, then you should definitely take a few at least, but just have a good balance of classes overall. All right, question 2 I have here is what should I do in high school to get an athletic scholarship? So I probably have like more experience, even though I haven't gotten like a super high athletic scholarship. Neither has Jack, but we have a pretty successful school athletically. So we are like surrounded by people who have those scholarships. So I would say that the main thing is to get a head start. So if you're an 8th grader, then definitely work really hard over the summer, because that just gives you that head start over other people who are still even trying to like figure out what sports they even want to do in high school. And that's how most people are going to be. Most people are going to do like 2 to 3 sports freshman year and then narrow it down to one sport that they want to focus on. So if you already have a sport in mind, then just continuously grind at that sport, get better, and like that head start or that edge could be the difference between having a scholarship and not having a scholarship.
And like playing in a high school sport, it's just like something fun to do, like it's something to do after school to blow off some steam and just have some fun.
And what Jack just said actually ties into the third question: should I play a sport in high school? So I would say that you definitely should play a sport in high school, even if you're just not like super committed athletically. You get a lot of your friends from sports, and it's just good. Like, it's a good social outlet, and it's something to lean on when you get super stressed out or stuff like that. So like overall, a sport is good not only for the athletics.
Wait, you look like a fuckboy.
Jack, the only boy I would have fuck is you.
What did he say?
All right, so the next question is, are clubs worth it? And if so, what clubs should I do in high school? So I definitely think that clubs are worth it. Kind of like sports is something to do outside of school. And if a club would get in the way of a sport, just do a club that's in your off season. So that way, you've always got something to do after school. You've got, friends to hang out with. And it's just kind of something to do. And as clubs that you should do, I mean, career-oriented clubs are really good, and Partiv has been in some of those.
Yeah, so I would say, career-oriented clubs are super underrated. They're so slept on. So clubs like DECA, HOSA, BPA, those are career-oriented clubs where you compete in an event that you find interesting. And you basically, most of the time, you get to compete during school, and it's an excused absence. And you usually get to compete in a nice place downtown, wherever that might be for you. So you get to skip school, have fun with friends, learn some things too. So overall, it's a really good experience. And I would say another thing is, as a freshman or as an underclassman, do as many clubs as possible, even the ones that you're only remotely interested remotely interested in, go to those call-out meetings, and then as you go into your sophomore, junior year, slowly narrow it down. And I would say have like four clubs, 4 to 5 clubs. If you want to do more, go for it. If you want to do less, that's fine too. And then have like 2 clubs that I would say that you really like focus on and try a lot in, and get leadership positions in those clubs, because having leadership positions is like really important clubs, and it looks really good on college applications. Fuck you, Jay.
Fuck you, party.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
All right, guys, next question we got is, should I take a blow-off class, and do grades matter? So we got this question quite a lot, so what do you think about this?
I definitely think it's a nice thing to have, just like a blow-off class. That way, you've got a period in the day when you can just kind of chill, and like if you've got a class next period that you forgot to do the homework for, you can do it in that class, especially if you've got like a chill teacher. So I mean, it's just really helpful to have.
Yeah, I would say like, so if you're trying to like be super high achieving and you want to take a blow-off class, that's kind of the boat that I'm in. What I did was I found really easy weighted classes, and I just took those. So my GPA still stayed high, but the class was super easy, and it was still considered a blow-off class, even though it was weighted. And I would definitely say that grades matter. One misconception that a lot of people have is that your grades don't matter, especially freshman, sophomore year. But your grades matter the most freshman, sophomore year, because that's when your GPA changes the most. Like once you're in your junior, senior year, your GPA is not going to change that much at all. And so what I would say is that like where you end with your class rank, where that ends your end of sophomore year, that's about the ballpark of where you're going to be by the end of high school. So your grades definitely matter, and I would say they matter more freshman, sophomore year than they do junior, senior year. And people say that overall grades don't matter in high school, and I disagree with that, because those grades do matter if you want to get a scholarship. And working hard for 4 years could be the difference between, paying an extra $10,000 for tuition or saving that $10,000 for something else. Bro, how do you even break your clavicle?
How the
How
fuck
is
do you
that
break your
possible?
clavicle?
In soccer.
Dude,
in soccer?
what a little pussy.
Nah, bro. All right, guys, the last question we have here is, should I get in a relationship? And I would say that it honestly just depends, because that's such like a loaded question that the same answer won't apply to everyone. But I would say like some general guidelines. If you're in a relationship in like middle school, then there's no harm in like continuing that relationship in high school. If you find someone in high school that you really like and you genuinely think it's gonna work out, that she just doesn't want to play with your feelings, then I mean, yeah, it might be worth a shot. But I mean, I would say bottom line is do what you think you can to have fun. So if your relationship is like really restricting you on what you can do, and it's not like the best relationship ever, then just break it off or don't be in it at all, because you're losing moments in high school that you're not going to have elsewhere. Because high school is the best time, it's the most fun time when you have the least amount of responsibility, because you still live under your parents' roofs. You don't have to pay any bills. You don't have to worry about tuition, things like that.
All right, so some pieces of advice for incoming freshmen. Definitely get an upperclassman friend. So like, he's my upperclassman friend. He's a senior. I'm a sophomore right now. So it's just really helpful, like especially if you're taking a class that they took before. If you need help with something, they can help you. If there's just some like work that you don't want to do, they can send it to you, and then you can just turn it in and the teacher won't know, just because, I mean, they won't remember something that happened 2 years ago. Some more advice, definitely make friends in all your classes. That way, if you need help in a class, you can always ask someone. You don't want to like be stuck the day before a test not knowing how to do something, and then you can't ask anybody, because then you'll just get a bad grade just because you didn't make any friends.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it makes your classes more fun too, because you just have like people to screw around with too.
Especially in classes where you like take labs, where you can just kind of, if the teacher's not paying attention, you just kind of screw around.
Yeah. Dude, I saw this TikTok, and in the family picture, they all just
I don't give a
like
fuck
this.
about your TikTok. All right, so one last piece of advice for some incoming freshmen, just do the work. Like, if there's work that you don't want to do and you're like, you know what, I'll take the bad grade, don't do it. Just, like, copy off of a friend, or, I mean, just like even if you just do half of it, that's still some points. Cause like one homework assignment could tank your grade.
Yeah, I would say like do what you have to get the grade that you want. Like, I mean, obviously if there's like an assignment that you don't want to do and it's not gonna like affect your grade that much, you're still gonna have an A in the class, then like don't do it. Like that's what I did. If there was something that didn't affect my grade, I just didn't do it.
All right, guys, that's all the advice we have for you today. Make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment down below what you guys want to see next.
Yeah, Barjeev. These things go back far. Dude, that's like a straight up bed right here. Tell me you can't fucking pitch on this. I'd prefer.